I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting for Monday, November 17th, 2025 to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Christensen.
Here.
Trustee Curtis. Here. Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here. Here.
Trustee Salazar.
Here.
All right, thank you. Audience comments? Seeing none. Trustee comments? Seeing none. Item 1 under discussion, Steve.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 1 under discussion is a special use for a doggy daycare with overnight boarding. This will be located at 71 to 81 Miller Drive, which is just off of Oak Street, just west of Randall Road. Tonight we have our village planner, Morgan Pinardi. Nathan is off, and Morgan's going to walk us through the special use. This has already gone through the Plan Commission, so right now you'll be discussing whether you would like it to move forward to the board for final vote.
All right, thank you. So yes, Dog Days is looking to go into 7181 Miller Drive, which is located in the Randall Square. That project was just completed a couple of years ago. They're looking at the building behind the Dunkin' Donuts there. This building has been vacant since it was constructed, and they're looking to utilize the entire building for their doggy daycare, which will include dog suites and play areas. There will be minimal site improvements. The only improvements will be a conversion of approximately 6 parking spaces on the back for an outdoor dog relief area. They anticipate having 25 to 28 employees at this location. They will be open to the public Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 6:30, and Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. All days they will close to the public during the middle of the day from approximately 11 to 2. This is considered the nap time to let the dogs all settle down during the day. There will also be employees on site until 8 o'clock p.m. The zoning ordinance requires 9 parking spaces. They have 33 spaces on the site even after the conversion of the 6 spaces. So they have plenty of parking. And I guess with that, I will invite the petitioner up to answer any questions.
Hi, I'm Jeff Bowen. I'm the owner of Dog Days, and Peyton Peroni, my general manager. We've been in business for 8 years in Bolingbrook, and we're looking to come out to North Aurora.
How many dogs would you be housing in this location?
We'll have around 40 suites for overnight, and then we can take on another probably 60 dogs for daycare. So we could have about 100 dogs in this location. Doesn't happen all the time, but that would be our maximum barn.
So are they going to be outside running around, or?
No, outside, we only take dogs outside a few times a day. We have 4 different play groups inside. They're mostly inside, and then we bring the dogs outside. There's no run, as you might expect. It's an open area that will be divided into 3 areas, two play areas and 1 for dogs that can't be socialized with other dogs. They'll basically have, they'll be out there supervised and can move freely. It's not.
So there'll be a fence up for them to go out and
exactly.
around does that be out by the parking lot area?
Yes. In the green area that you see.
Oh, okay, I see. I got it. And the last question. So then somebody's there on site till 8 o'clock, and then the dogs are just going to sleep then, or?
At nighttime, they go into their own suite. So you might have 2 dogs in one particular suite if they're from the same household. And yes, they sleep there all night long.
Then what time does somebody come in to watch them?
6 a.m.
So from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m., they're kind of on their own in their suites.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we have video surveillance in case they get out of their suite or their enclosure, and then we have to.
And then with like alarm on the door, is there going to be alarm system there?
Well, we'll have a surveillance system, so it would alert us if somebody came in, and we would call the police.
Oh, okay.
And a fire system, obviously.
So is the overnight like if somebody's on vacation or whatever?
Yeah.
What's the longest you would keep them there? Or what's the,
The longest we would keep a dog.
We've had as long as a month before
Oh.
when people have gone out of the country.
Yeah,
So it kind of
yeah.
just depends on each owner's needs.
well, the good news over there is there's no homes to
Yeah,
bother when they're barking or because dogs do bark or, whatever.
Yeah, when we obviously chose that location for that,
Yeah.
for that reason.
yeah.
No, I
You
think
guys do anything to mitigate sound?
Basically outside, are you talking, or inside?
Well, inside as well, if you've got like 40
Inside,
dogs
there's
in there
drop
potentially
ceiling
barking.
That will, keep the sound down. Where people come in will be, they'll be closed off from where the customers come in. And the way this building is set up now, there's actually two kind of separate, actually three separate areas. So it's kind of nice, we can close those off, that it's not going to be too loud in any one area. But I will say the play area, does get loud, especially when a new person walks through and the dogs think they're going to go outside or something new. But,
What kind of fencing do you plan on putting up outside?
PVC fencing, 7 feet. It'll be 6 feet with a 1 foot lattice on top.
So they do their business in the green area?
Yes.
Kind of? So then somebody take care of that, I assume? and-
Yeah,
okay.
we do it right as they go. So we.
Is that like AstroTurf?
It is, it's a special, it's called canine grass. It's made so that if a dog pees, it goes down into the pea gravel underneath, and then it seeps into the soil underneath. So that's why we will have to pull up the asphalt in those 6 areas and then put the canine turf down.
That's great. You're looking at the whole building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to do, make it big enough where
Yeah.
it's worthwhile
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay
Good.
with it.
Nice.
yeah.
Carolyn?
Yeah,
I think it's
great,
good.
and I think it's,
Yeah.
um,
I think it's a
in
good
the right
I can
location.
spot.
imagine 100 dogs in one spot, but,
Yeah.
obviously you have a lot of employees. I think it's great.
Yeah, great location and everything. So, yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, item 2, Little Pups.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 2 on the agenda tonight is a liquor license request for Little Pop's Pizzeria. They are requesting a Class A large restaurant liquor license. This location is at 1033 Kilberry Lane, which is in the former Ramondo's Pizza and Pub space. Right now, Little Pop's operates currently in Naperville and Aurora, and those are carry-out locations. They have a full-service restaurant in Lyle. They would operate this space as a full-service restaurant. And at this time, they have not requested video gaming.
Mark?
Good.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Glad someone's going in the space. It's great.
All right, I'm glad somebody's in. So,
I'd
yep.
love another restaurant.
Yep. Anything else, Steve?
No, that's it. It goes to the board for liquor license vote.
All right, great. All right, moving on to item 3, meeting schedule for 2026.
So this is our annual, as part of the Open Meetings Act, we're required to pass a regularly scheduled meeting list by January 1st. So this is the list for 2026. There was only one holiday next year, which is we always lose a board meeting on Labor Day because it's the first Monday. But that is the only holiday that interacts with any of our dates next year. So there's always like 2 or 3, so it's a thin year next year. Here's the actual schedule. So right here, this is for our village board and committee of the whole meetings, and then you see our plan commission on the right. Right here, the only conflict is Labor Day, so the board has the option to set up a different meeting date for that first, or traditionally, we've just skipped that meeting, and if something ever happens where we do need to host a meeting, we, under the Open Meetings Act, can still host a meeting, we just have to notice it within 48 hours. The second list here is North Aurora Days and Beautification. Those are our 2 standing committees, so they have regularly scheduled meetings as well. North Aurora Days has typically been scheduled monthly, and with some meetings essentially just canceled because of lack of agenda. There's times during the year where like Natalie or the staff is working on things and it takes a few months, and the event's 9 months out, so we might not have to meet for a while. So this time, we're actually just going to meet, we're setting it up so we meet every other month.
Good.
Good. Jason?
Yep, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Steve, on that?
No, that is it. Goes to
right.
the board for a vote.
All right, going to move on to item 4, Berman Tower signage.
Okay, so item number 4 here is regarding the Berman Tower. On October 6th Committee of the Whole meeting, the board brought up the idea of putting lettering on the tower. What we decided to do was the staff did, instead of hiring a company and doing a full mock-up and paying for someone to do it, we thought we would put some conceptual plans out there first just to have the conversation. What we did was we put lettering on the tower, and once again, it could be different if the board wants us to put up different concepts. We just wanted to kind of show a basic lettering. But then we also had talked about it internally and said, if the board was considering naming the tower publicly, there's a placard there already, but the placard, you can't read it. You have to walk up to it to read it. It's illegible from the street. So if the purpose was to try to make sure people knew passing it that it was named the Berman Tower, one of the things we thought was they have kind of a unified signage. Right now, as you know, the Fox Valley Park District has very distinctive green signs with the taupe background and the fox on it. They have one at Island Park across the street. When we took over Riverfront Park from the Park District, we did a matching sign in blue that says North Aurora Riverfront Park, Village of North Aurora is the logo on it. So Natalie just put together a couple pictures. I'm going to have to zoom out. So one thought was just taking, that's essentially what our Riverfront Park sign looks like. There's the actual placard right there that gives a little history of the tower, how it got named. And then here, this would be obviously visible. It'd be the size of a normal park sign that you would see driving on the road, very visible. Right now, we just put the wording Berman Tower in as a placeholder. You know, eventually, one day, when something we'll definitely want to talk about maybe in strategic planning is putting together, looking at the concept that we had years ago for the Silo Park and bringing that back to life. So whether it's Berman Tower Park, whatever that becomes, we can put that on a sign. And then down here, so Natalie put, you can see it just as a concept. There's where the sign would be. There's the Fox River Trail sign from the Park District, right at the parking lot just to the east of the Berman Tower site. So very similar, very unified in the way they look. And then down here, Natalie put lettering up on the tower. So we first just put it at the top, and then we did it on the side. Mind you, Natalie had to go out during the day and take a picture to make sure the lighting was right because it was dark when she took the first picture. So she made sure it was a bright day so we can get some good visibility. So basically that's just the standard Berman Tower written across. Obviously it could be a different font, it could be fancier, but we put it up there just for the discussion purposes. And then of course if you want to pursue that option any further, we can have a company do some renderings and maybe make it more artistic. In the meantime, where we're at right now is we're just looking for feedback on whether you want to have more signage at the site, whether it's on the tower or the sign.
Can it be both?
Can be.
I have to say, I don't care for the writing on the tower. I mean, I really don't care for that. Do you have any sense of what either one of these things would cost?
No, we haven't. That's the thing. We haven't priced it out with a company to see. Oh, we do know the sign cost. I should say
Okay.
that. The sign is relatively inexpensive. We bought one for Riverfront Park a few years ago. It's at the time it was just under $2,000 for us to buy the sign and put the post in. Brian and I talked about it a little bit, given inflation, and he did get an updated price on the sign, but the cost of the post probably went up. So we're thinking it's going to be in the $3,000 to $4,000 range for a sign.
You know, one thing I do want to share my thoughts on this because I thought the wording on the tower, if it were below that little window, I think would be a little bit more balanced. And I was wondering if we could at some point see that, how that would look, and a different font as well. Is what that's my input to it. So
I agree with Carolyn. I think it looks like a billboard. I'm all for the sign on the ground. I can't think of any other landmark that would emblazon its name across the top like this. I kind of think it's a little tacky. So I'm all for the sign on the ground, but not the big blazing Berman Tower lettering on the side.
I can't speak for Dale personally, but he was kind of a purist, and I remember when he talked to me about lighting up the tower, he never mentioned putting his name like that. I think longtime North Aurorans remember this tower as the silo with nothing on it. I mean, the lights make it look great. I mean, it was a great idea he had. He came back from some convention visitor bureau meeting, and he said, "What do you think about, will you light this up?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome." So to me, I like the sign out in front that looks like the Park District sign. I think it would direct people to it. I think the plaque is super nice, but you got to be walking by it to recognize it. But I just think, you know, and I respect Jason Christensen, Trustee Christensen's idea to do this, but I just, you know, to me, it's, you know, I don't know, too much. And like I said, being a longtime North Auroran, that silos look the same for 65 years to me. So it's like, I like the lighting. I like the sign out in front. I think that, you know, that would pay honor to Dale as well, and I'm for the sign. So, anybody else?
I'm for the sign and maybe nothing on the tower. I think you're right. I don't think Dale envisioned his name printed on the tower. I think the placard driving by with that sign, you'd be able to see it driving by, and then the placard adds a, you know, nice dimension to the outlook of it. Because we were going to probably do things around there eventually.
Right.
And I just think people, you're right, know that as the silo.
Yeah.
And then people will see the sign.
Yeah. Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I still like the idea of putting it on there, but understand everybody's thoughts.
All right. Steve?
With that, if it's pretty easy at this point. If the board wants to go forward with the ground sign, it seems we already know the company. We've already used them once. We used them last year for a different sign. Brian knows the foundry that we got the appropriate post at, and as I said earlier, it's a relatively inexpensive cost, something that we can easily absorb this year. So I mean, it's sooner than later. Putting foundation in the winter and cement, and that would be the only issue, I'm guessing, time-wise.
Yeah, and they said they had a different option besides those posts, so we could look into that as well. And they can always give us, you know, renderings. So if you wanted to get a couple renderings, I'm sure they would do that for us.
So, Steve, I have a question. So the sign, we still need to decide what to put on it, because I'm just wondering if maybe a few years from now, maybe the whole idea is fleshed out about that area, and maybe we want to say, you know, Dale Berman Park or something like that on the sign. Can what it says be changed without going to the whole cost of doing a whole nother sign? Do you know what I'm saying? Can you?
Probably not.
Probably not, okay.
And if I remember correctly, the way it's fabricated, the letters are actually, that whole sign, I think it's one.
It's like a mold?
It starts with one piece as a mold, I
Okay,
think.
okay.
And whereas those aren't individual letters.
Okay, understood.
It's like routed out.
Yeah, layered colors, and they route it out.
But could they do something different?
I mean, you could buy a new sign to put in its place.
You can buy a new sign. That was what I was wondering, if you could change what it's
Some
set
kind
on.
of
You meant rather than
attach
this
something to it.
sign.
You know, no, I mean, that idea, but instead of router, and like Trustee Christian said, can they put some kind of something that you can attach to it if it becomes Berman Outlook or Park or whatever?
So in the sign at Riverfront Park, we actually had a different sign built underneath it for the North Aurora River District Alliance, and it was a horizontal sign that fit underneath the other sign, and it had their logo with their 4 emblems on it. So in theory, you could do that, and that would be all we'd have to do is put the sign up a little bit elevated where we can add a sign underneath it.
I think that would be smart depending on what it develops into.
Looking forward so that we can, you know,
Yeah.
change the signage somehow. Anyway.
The only difference would be, though, if let's just say for now it's Berman Tower, it would probably be redundant to then put Berman Tower Park underneath it. So,
I agree.
yeah.
So Dale wanted it Berman Tower. That was
That was what he told me.
That was what he told us.
But if then if the park is named something else, we could put that underneath. It just gives us the ability to
Sure.
add more signage without having to buy a whole nother sign.
Absolutely, and then you can even do something with the word park in it on the
Or
sign.
Berman Tower
below.
and Park, or I don't know, who knows.
Yeah, you
Right,
could do,
something like
you could
that.
keep it Berman Tower and then have that separate sign, basically dignify that it's also a park.
He liked to call it Berman Tower, though, I know that.
What is the status on the lights being repaired, by the way?
So it got delayed because we put in a second request for the insurance company to review the coverage of the insurance policy to verify that it wasn't going to be replaced at full cost. And they are giving it to a second appraiser to look at, and that appraiser has been delayed. So we've been waiting for a second appraiser. But the truth is, we didn't want to, given the fact that the fix is roughly $200,000, we didn't want to push it until we got that second appraiser to look at it, make sure that they deny the insurance or approve it, and then go for it at that point.
So we're still, so I was they're still making a determination of
They
whether they
made an
will pay
initial
for the repair.
determination, and then we said that we didn't agree with the insurance company's determination
Sure.
that it wasn't covered. And so they are sending it to a separate person to evaluate it.
Okay.
So once we get this all squared up, then we'll make sure we're squared with insurance and everybody's good, and
Yeah, so we basically, at this point, that's already been taken care of. So we've already talked to them about how exactly they want it listed. As I've said in the past, when the board asked, the insurance amount that we put down for the tower was for the entire cost of the project that we, including the lighting, and the insurance company did not agree that the lighting was actually part of the structure they were covering. They believe it to be individual elements outside
Because it
of
was
the structure,
outside?
because
Yeah.
it was attached to the structure as opposed to the structure. So,
okay. All
Well,
right, great. Anything else, Steve, with that?
no, that's it. I will get working with Brian, and before we do anything, we can easily bring back some ideas and concepts for the sign and show you what it could look like in the future with that lower sign put down, just so you can see it before we order it.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, seeing a motion to adjourn, to go to
Motion to
exec
adjourn.
session to review exec session minutes.
Motion to adjourn. So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed, the same sign. All right, thank you.